They call it the last frontier, but that's just the beginning of the story. A world stitched together by glaciers, oceans, and endless skies. Where the horizon stretches farther than imagination can follow. You come here expecting silence, but find symphonies instead. Ice cracking like thunder. Rivers laughing through stone. The whisper of light that refuses to die, even at midnight. Everything feels bigger, bolder, purer. Here, the soul doesn't wander, it soars. There's a sense of both danger and divinity in the air. You'll forget where you are, and maybe that's the point. Because up here, the map doesn't matter. Only the feeling does. The feeling of standing at the edge of everything. Of realizing how alive the world can still be. This is not just a place, it's a pulse. This is Lost in Alaska, a journey through the land of endless light. Denali National Park. Deep in the heart of Alaska, where wilderness stretches beyond the horizon, lies Denali National Park, a realm that feels untouched by time. Here, the land breathes with raw power, and silence carries the weight of centuries. At its center stands Mount Denali, towering at 20,310 feet, the tallest peak in North America. Its snow-capped summit often hides behind veils of clouds, revealing itself only to those patient enough to wait. The mountain's name, given by the Koyukon Athabascan people, means the Great One, a title it has earned through both majesty and myth. Glaciers carve through the landscape like ancient rivers of ice, reflecting sunlight that never seems to fade. The air is crisp, pure, and impossibly quiet, yet alive with the distant cry of an eagle or the rush of a cold stream. Denali's terrain spans from spruce forests and alpine meadows to endless tundra painted in gold and violet hues. Wildlife roams freely here: grizzlies, wolves, moose, and caribou, moving in their eternal rhythm. It's not uncommon to witness a herd of Dall sheep balancing on cliffs or a bear wandering across a field of wildflowers. The park's history began in 1917, when it was established to protect its fragile ecosystem and the creatures within it. Today, it stands as one of the last truly wild sanctuaries on Earth, a reminder of nature's enduring spirit. For the native people, Denali was never just a mountain. It was a guardian, a teacher, a living presence. They saw the seasons not as changes, but as cycles of life that connect all beings under the same endless sky. During summer, the sun barely sets. A surreal glow lingers over the valleys, making time feel irrelevant. Rivers like the Talkeetna and Savage cut through the wilderness, glistening like liquid glass. Every step here feels like walking into a painting too vast to comprehend. Denali is not a park you visit. It's a world you surrender to. The deeper you venture, the smaller you feel, and somehow, the freer. Even the wind seems to whisper old stories about explorers who dared to climb its impossible slopes. Travel tip number 1. Reserve your bus seat or campsite early. The park's short open season fills up months ahead. Travel tip number 2. Pack multiple layers and waterproof gear. Denali's weather can shift from sunshine to snow within minutes. As twilight melts into dawn without darkness, the world feels suspended between dream and reality. Denali humbles, heals, and awakens something ancient within those who listen. It is not simply a destination, it's the purest definition of wild freedom. Glacier Bay National Park. In the silent wilderness of southeastern Alaska, Glacier Bay National Park unfolds like a frozen dream. Here, ice and ocean collide in a slow, graceful dance that has lasted for centuries. Towering glaciers shimmer in shades of sapphire and silver, carving their way through ancient valleys. Every crack and thunderous splash of calving ice echoes like nature's heartbeat. The park spans over 3 million acres, a kingdom of water, ice, and wilderness where time seems irrelevant. Mountains rise sharply from turquoise fjords, their peaks dusted with snow that never melts. Seals lounge on drifting icebergs while bald eagles glide above mirror-like waters. This is one of the few places on Earth where glaciers are still alive, constantly moving, reshaping, and roaring with power. The Tlingit people once called this region their home, believing the glaciers carried the spirits of their ancestors. Their stories speak of respect, patience, and balance, values still felt in every ripple of the bay. When the light hits the ice at dusk, the entire world glows in blue and gold, like the ocean is breathing light. The air tastes of salt and snow, sharp, clean, eternal. Every visitor who comes here leaves quieter, changed, as if they've glimpsed the Earth's soul. The park's wildlife flourishes, whales breach, sea lions bark, and bears wander along the rocky shores. It's a spectacle that never repeats the same way twice. Cruising through Glacier Bay feels less like sightseeing and more like time travel. You witness the planet as it was thousands of years ago, pure, raw, and alive. Travel tip number 1, bring binoculars. Spotting whales and seals from a distance makes the experience even more magical. Travel tip number 2, layer up. Even in summer, the chill from the ice can seep through your bones. The bay's quiet moments are the most powerful, when all you hear is dripping ice and your own heartbeat. Each glacier has its own voice, its own rhythm, its own life. Glacier Bay doesn't demand awe, it earns it. This is the world in its most honest form, cold, wild, and stunningly beautiful. It reminds you that even ice can tell stories that burn into your soul. Mendenhall Glacier. Just outside the quiet Alaskan capital of Juneau lies one of the most mesmerizing landscapes on the planet, Mendenhall Glacier, a place where ice, time, and silence converge. This 13-mile-long river of frozen light stretches from the Juneau icefield, descending majestically toward the lake that bears its name. It's not just a glacier, it's a storyteller, one that has been shaping, shifting, and sculpting the valley for millennia. The sheer immensity of the glacier commands silence, as if the world knows it's in the presence of something eternal. The ice glows in shades of blue so rich they seem painted by the northern sky. Every few minutes, a distant crack echoes, a piece of the glacier calving into the lake, collapsing with a sound that feels both violent and beautiful. Around you, waterfalls tumble down sheer cliffs, fed by melting ice that has traveled centuries to reach this point. The Tlingit people, who have called this land home for thousands of years, speak of the glacier with reverence and caution, for they understand its power. Meanwhile, black bears wander the trails, fishing for salmon in icy streams that carry the glacier's meltwater. The air smells of pine and cold stone, crisp and clean in a way that makes you feel new again. Every drop you see began as snow centuries ago, falling long before your lifetime. Mendenhall is more than a site. It's a living, shifting monument to time itself. Watching it melt can be heartbreaking, yet it's also profoundly humbling. Here, you begin to understand that beauty often comes from impermanence. You leave knowing you've seen something ancient, something that will never look quite the same again. And that's what makes Mendenhall unforgettable. Talkeetna. At first glance, Talkeetna looks like a sleepy little Alaskan town tucked into the woods. But the closer you get, the more it feels like a portal into a different kind of world. Just 120 miles north of Anchorage, it's the last true gateway to Denali, where wilderness begins to swallow the horizon. The town's three rivers, the Susitna, Susitna, and Talkeetna, meet in a rush of glacial meltwater that seems to pulse with life. Standing at their confluence, you feel the strength of the land in every drop that passes. This is where mountaineers gather before their great ascent, their excitement and nerves woven into the air like electricity. But Talkeetna isn't just for climbers. It's for dreamers, storytellers, and wanderers who crave something real. The streets are lined with wooden houses that look like they were built by hand, because they were. History clings to this town in the best way, from the 1910 gold rush days to the early bush pilots who charted Alaska's skies. The rivers shimmer under the endless daylight, while Denali looms quietly in the distance, patient, majestic, and always watching. Sometimes, music plays from the open doors of bars where locals trade stories that blur the line between truth and legend. And every once in a while, you'll hear someone say that Talkeetna isn't just a town, it's a feeling you take with you. There's a rhythm to life here that no city could ever understand. Travel tip: for the best connection to locals, visit in shoulder seasons, spring or late August, when the crowds thin and the stories grow longer. Walking the Riverside Trail, you'll find wildflowers pushing through gravel, proof that even the harshest land makes room for life. Overhead, the sky stretches wide enough to make you dizzy. And as you watch a plane lift into that light, you realize this town is a threshold between civilization and the sublime. Talkeetna doesn't show you Alaska, it introduces you to her. You leave not with souvenirs, but with silence, stories, and a piece of the North tucked behind your heartbeat. That's the kind of magic you don't find twice. Fairbanks. Fairbanks isn't a city you simply visit. It's one you earn by crossing miles of frozen wilderness and endless sky. Perched just below the Arctic Circle, it's Alaska's gateway to raw, untamed beauty. Here, temperatures plunge to extremes that test every sense of endurance. The midnight sun reigns for months, blurring the line between day and dream. Founded by gold seekers in 1901, Fairbanks still pulses with that restless frontier energy. The Juneau River slices through the heart of town, its icy flow a mirror to the northern lights above. From snowmobiling through boreal forests to floating in hot springs under the aurora, every experience here feels surreal. Creamer's Field, once a dairy farm, now becomes a sanctuary for migrating sandhill cranes. The university's Museum of the North stands like a modern iceberg of glass and steel, filled with stories of survival and spirit. The Ice Alaska Park glistens each winter with sculptures that defy the limits of imagination. Every season in Fairbanks rewrites the definition of adventure. But deep beneath the frost, something ancient hums. An unexplained vibration locals say comes from the ground itself. Some believe it's the Earth's pulse. Others whisper it's the memory of the gold rush never fading away. Wanderers follow the Stees Highway north, chasing light until it swallows the horizon. The wilderness here doesn't forgive, but it rewards those who listen. Wooden lodges and log homes line the outskirts, blending into the forest like they have always belonged. The midnight sky ignites with green fire, dancing above snow-dusted roofs. There's a primal thrill in standing outside at 3 a.m., breath crystallizing while auroras move like spirits. Locals laugh about the cold, because Fairbanks doesn't bend, it dares you to adapt. The sound of sled dogs in the distance feels like Alaska's heartbeat. Each trail, each frozen leg tells a story of persistence. And when the sun finally returns, it floods the city with a sense of rebirth. The wild calls louder here than anywhere else in Alaska. Fairbanks is not for everyone, but for those who crave the extraordinary. It's a world without walls. This is the edge of the Earth, and somehow, it feels like the center of the universe. Anchorage. Anchorage is where adventure begins, and the road north never ends. It's a city built on the edge of the unknown, where mountains rise from the ocean like titans. With over 300 miles of wilderness trails and glaciers within an hour's reach, the wild is never far. Here, moose wander city streets as casually as commuters. From downtown, you can see Denali, North America's tallest peak, piercing the sky in the distance. Founded as a hub for the Alaska Railroad, Anchorage quickly became the nerve center of the frontier. Today, it's a playground for explorers, hikers, bikers, pilots, and dreamers alike. Float planes lift off from Lake Hood every few minutes, heading into untouched wilderness. The smell of salt, pine, and snow mixes in the air like a promise of discovery. Earthquake Park reminds visitors of 1964's Great Quake, when the land itself shifted beneath human feet. But Anchorage didn't crumble. It adapted, as Alaska always does. The Anchorage Museum reveals stories of courage and survival etched in every artifact. Hike Flat Top Mountain for a panoramic view that makes you feel like you've conquered the edge of the world. Or stand at Turnagain Arm, where tides surge with power strong enough to reshape the coast. They say strange lights sometimes ripple beneath the water, the ocean's own northern lights. Scientists call it refraction. Locals call it something older, something alive. In summer, the sun never quits. It fuels endless days of exploration. In winter, the aurora transforms the city into a cosmic wonderland. Anchorage isn't polished. It's raw, real, and utterly irresistible. Every street feels like the start of a new expedition. The wild doesn't wait here. It meets you halfway. You can fish, fly, hike, and ski, all in a single day if you dare. And at night, when silence falls, you realize Alaska is not a backdrop. It's the main character. Anchorage doesn't just challenge you to explore, it dares you to awaken. This is the frontier reborn, the heart of adventure under the endless light. Matanuska Glacier. Stretching majestically through Alaska's rugged wilderness, the Matanuska Glacier is a frozen river of ice that seems to breathe beneath the eternal northern light. Located about 100 miles northeast of Anchorage, this 27-mile-long glacier carves its way through the Chugach Mountains, creating a breathtaking corridor of shimmering blue and silver. It's the largest glacier in the United States accessible by road, allowing travelers to touch, walk, and even hear the crackling whispers of ancient ice. Formed thousands of years ago, the Matanuska tells a silent story of geological time, an ever-moving sculpture carved by nature's patience and power. The glacier's icy surface gleams like glass, reflecting the soft glow of the midnight sun, while below, frozen caverns hide shades of blue no artist could replicate. Local guides share tales of early settlers and indigenous Alaskans who once revered this glacier as a living spirit that protected their land. Even now, the Matanuska Valley remains rich with cultural echoes, from traditional cabins to small-town charm nestled along the Glen Highway. The silence here isn't emptiness, it's the sound of the earth still creating itself. It's both a destination and a meditation, a reminder of how small we are in nature's grand design. This is not just a place to see, it's a place to feel, a frozen heartbeat in the land of endless light. Kenai Peninsula. The Kenai Peninsula unfolds like a living painting, where glaciers kiss turquoise seas and mountains dissolve into mist. Known as Alaska's playground, it feels more like a dream than a destination. The air here tastes of salt and snow, and every breath feels like a baptism in wilderness. From the jagged peaks of the Kenai Mountains to the still waters of Resurrection Bay, beauty reigns in every direction. Seward sits at the edge of this wonder, a harbor town that hums softly beneath towering cliffs. The Kenai Fjords National Park steals your breath, ice calving into the sea with a thunder that echoes through eternity. Orcas slice through the waves while eagles spiral high above glaciers older than time. Each sunrise paints the land in pinks and golds. Each sunset lingers like a memory refusing to fade. The tiny town of Homer stretches toward Kachemak Bay, where fishermen, artists, and wanderers coexist in harmony. Wooden docks creak under the weight of the ocean's stories. Here, time doesn't pass. It flows, like rivers carving their way through eternity. The Sterling Highway winds like a silver ribbon through valleys and forests, connecting silence to civilization. Kenai's Russian Orthodox Church stands as a relic of faith and endurance, its domes gleaming against the northern sky. The culture here is a fusion, native Alaskan, Russian, and frontier spirit intertwined. In the stillness of Kenai Lake, reflections blur the line between water and sky. Some say they're spirits of the sea, watching over lost sailors. The land here feels alive, not just with wildlife, but with memory. Brown bears roam the valleys, moose wander through wildflower meadows, and silence hums with mystery. Each village tells a story of survival, of courage, of belonging. Kenai isn't about what you see, it's about what you feel when everything else falls away. It's the meeting place of wild and wonder, chaos and calm. And when you leave, you realize you were never visiting nature, you were returning to it. Aleutian Islands. They say the Aleutian Islands were born from fire and shaped by gods, where ocean meets sky and dreams turn to mist. Long ago, the spirits of the sea and the volcanoes made a pact, creating these islands as a place where both could coexist. Even now, when the wind howls across the cliffs, locals whisper that it's the ancestors calling through the storm. The chain stretches like a sleeping dragon, its volcanic peaks rising and falling beneath the fog. On certain nights, when the sun refuses to set, the horizon glows like molten gold, and the sea seems to breathe. The Aleut people believe every island has a soul, a guardian spirit that watches over the waves in the sky. Old stories speak of fire dancing on the water, of whales that carry the voices of the lost. The remnants of Russian chapels stand quietly amid tundra and ash, their bells long silent, yet heavy with memory. This is not a land of noise or haste. It's a realm where silence tells stories and the horizon holds secrets. The volcanoes still rumble, the ocean still roars, and yet everything feels in harmony, as if chaos itself has found peace here. Each moment feels like a message, a reminder that the world is far older and wilder than we remember. The Aleutian Islands are not just a place, they are a threshold between Earth and eternity. And those who find themselves here are never quite the same again. Knik Glacier. Long before Alaska had names on maps, before roads or cities or cameras, the Denali people spoke of a river of ice that never slept, what we now call Knik Glacier. To them, it wasn't just a place, but a presence, a guardian spirit that breathed through the valley and shaped the rhythm of their lives. They called the river Knik, meaning fire beneath the ice, a nod to the mysterious power they felt deep within its frozen heart. For generations, they hunted and traveled along its shores, listening to the glacier's voice, its rumbles and sighs that foretold weather, change, or warning. Today, Knik Glacier still carries that ancient reverence. Even the most modern travelers fall silent in its presence. The nearby town of Palmer stands as a quiet outpost of human life against the backdrop of timeless wilderness. Wooden cabins dot the valley, their chimneys breathing soft trails of smoke beneath towering peaks. The glacier's retreat tells a story not of loss, but of transformation. Proof that even giants must yield to time. That feeling, part awe, part humility, is what the elders meant when they said the land teaches through silence. Sometimes, when the wind blows through the valley, it carries a sound like whispering voices. The Denali believed each glacier had a soul, and Knik's was one of patience, wisdom, and unbreakable endurance. To live near it is to learn balance between fragility and strength, stillness and change. Architecture here mirrors that humility, simple, sturdy, aligned with the rhythm of the seasons. There is beauty not in excess, but in respect. Every roof sloped for snow, every wall built to breathe. It's as if heaven itself is speaking to the ice, and the ice is answering in color. The land feels alive, aware, remembering every step, every breath, every story told beside its frozen edge. You come here expecting cold, but find warmth in the people, in the silence, in the stillness that welcomes you. Knik Glacier is not merely ice and rock. It's Alaska's memory made visible. And those who stand before it become part of that memory, however briefly, carried in the river's endless flow. Because here, time doesn't just move forward, it circles back, gliding eternally beneath the light that never fades. Susitna River. Flowing through the heart of Alaska like a silver ribbon of freedom, the Susitna River carves its path between snow-capped peaks and endless forests, whispering stories of wilderness that few have truly heard. Beneath skies that never seem to sleep, the Susitna shimmers under the midnight sun, its waters glowing gold, its spirit untamed, as if time itself pauses to watch it flow. Locals call it the River of Life, and once you stand on its banks, watching the mist rise over the horizon, You understand why. It feels less like a place and more like a heartbeat of the earth. From its icy origins near Denali to the deep valleys it nourishes, the Susitna flows with the quiet strength of a legend still being written in liquid silver. There's a wild romance in this place, where adventure meets serenity, where every ripple tells you you're standing somewhere truly alive. The Susitna doesn't rush. It moves with purpose. Like a traveler who knows the destination doesn't matter as much as the journey itself. To witness the Susitna River is to touch Alaska's soul, a place where wilderness, water, and wonder merge beneath the endless light of the north. Wickersham Dome. Rising quietly from the heart of Alaska's vast wilderness, Wickersham Dome feels like the world's rooftop, where the air turns to crystal and the horizon stretches beyond imagination. Here, time slows to the rhythm of the wind, brushing through tundra fields painted in gold, crimson, and mossy green under the endless summer light. The dome itself isn't towering, it's timeless, a gentle giant that offers a 360-degree panorama of untouched land rolling toward eternity. On clear day, you can see Denali shimmering in the distance, as if the mountain and the sky are sharing a quiet secret only the north can keep. Hikers come for the view, but they stay for the silence, an intoxicating kind of peace that seeps into your bones and refuses to let go. When the sun never fully sets, the tundra glows with an otherworldly hue, and every shadow feels alive, whispering stories of the ancient Arctic. Locals call it the place of breath, because standing at its peak feels like inhaling the purest air on Earth, untouched and infinite. In winter, Wickersham Dome transforms into a frozen dream, snow-dusted trails, pale skies, and the faint hum of the northern lights dancing just above. Every step across its ridges feels like walking through a living painting, one that shifts color, mood, and soul with every season. To stand on Wickersham Dome is to stand at the meeting point between Earth and eternity, where Alaska reveals not just its beauty, but its boundless, breathing soul. Seward. Seward is one of those Alaskan towns that feels like it was made for travelers who crave both adventure and peace. It sits on the edge of Resurrection Bay, surrounded by mountains that drop straight into the ocean, and honestly, it looks like a movie set. The air is crisp, the water a perfect shade of blue-green, and everywhere you look, something is moving. A whale's fin, a fishing boat, an eagle overhead. The town is small but full of life. Cafes, gear shops, and docks buzzing with locals and explorers swapping stories. It's the kind of place where your morning coffee comes with a glacier view. Exit Glacier is just a short drive away, one of the few glaciers in Alaska you can actually walk up to. You can feel its cold breath long before you reach it, and when you do, it's breathtaking. The Kenai Fjords boat tours are next level. Think glaciers calving, humpback whales breaching, and sea lions sunbathing on rocky islands. sound of cracking ice echoes across the water like thunder in slow motion. It's dramatic, humbling, and absolutely unforgettable. Seward's waterfront trail is perfect for evening walks. The light lasts for hours, turning the bay gold and pink. Everywhere you go, the town smells like rain and ocean, which somehow feels comforting. Locals are friendly and grounded. You'll probably end up chatting with a fisherman or a pilot who's seen half of Alaska by air. The vibe here is simple. Live slow, breathe deep, respect the wild. Even when clouds hang low, the place has this quiet glow, like it's lit from within. You'll want to bring your camera, but half the time, you'll forget to use it because you're too busy just watching. Travel tip number 1, take the early morning fjord cruise. Calmer waters mean better whale sightings and perfect lighting. Travel tip number 2, pack layers. Seward weather changes fast, and you'll want to be ready for everything. The evenings here are something special. Soft light, long shadows, calm water. You'll hear seagulls and laughter mixing with the slow hum of the harbor. It's peaceful in a way cities can never be. Every direction you look feels like the start of an adventure. It's easy to lose track of time because every hour feels like golden hour. Seward doesn't just show you nature, it pulls you into it. And once you've been here, part of you will never stop chasing that horizon.